Hello, I'm Dara. This is my computer graphics final project. So, following the structure of the report, we can start with basic functionality. Required feature 1 involves three-dimensional objects and views. So we add a cube, then a camera controller. So we can use the mouse to control camera rotation, WASD to move around, space to move up, control to move down, and shift adjust the movement speed. With that, we've implemented required feature 1, three-dimensional objects and views, and required feature 2, user interaction and camera control. Skipping feature 3 and 4, for now, we can move on to required feature 5, texture mapping. So if we return to our cube, we can add textures using OpenGL's built-in texturing options and the STV library. That's feature 5 done, so we can move on to feature 6, the Phong Illumination model. For this, we'll return to our cube and move to a more interesting scene. So this scene has Blinn-Phong lighting. And if we work through the specifications, specular highlights are visible. There are multiple light sources, in this case 3, a directional light from the sun, a spotlight from the moon, and a point light from a light bulb. The next part of feature 6 requires 5 different material properties: diffuse, specular, ambient, shiny, and emissive. Finally, the normals are transformed correctly, and shading uses a combination of ambient, diffuse, and specular lighting. This completes feature 6, so we can move on to feature 3, a hierarchical animated character. So we have a snake with head and body parts. The head points and moves towards its target. Then the first body part receives the head's position and rotation and adds an offset. This is repeated for each body part, so each part follows sine waves to make the motion more snake-like. Finally, for some user interaction, we can change the length of the snake. That's feature 3 done. Now for the final required feature, a crowd of moving characters. I added some birds. They circle a point, keeping space between each other. They have basic animation, and they oscillate up and down to simulate flapping. This completes our required features and brings us on to advanced features. The first one being crowd behavior. So we can give the birds a destination. They'll fly in formation until they get there. They'll then begin to circle around again. Also, if a bird spots a snake, they will leave formation and fly towards it. They'll then pick it up and drop it from a height. This kills the snake. Advanced feature 2 is a day-night cycle. The sun and the moon orbit our scene, and the directional light is pointed along the direction of the sun. This allows for sunrise and sunset. As the sun sets, the skybox and lighting change, so only ambient lighting and fog are used at night. This is until the moon passes overhead and illuminates the scene. Finally, the solar panels tilt towards the sun. Then, overnight, they reset for the next sunrise. Other additional features include 2 skyboxes, world curvature, foliage generation, and audio. so the music changes pitch depending on time of day. So those are all the features in my project. The resources I used are outlined in the video description and the project report.